Welcome to Daily News Brief, your clear, concise look at today's top headlines. If you find this update helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a story that matters.
New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell was indicted for allegedly hiding a romantic relationship with her bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappie.
Vappie was accused of being paid for work even when he was meeting with Cantrell alone in apartments or traveling with her.
Cantrell faces charges of conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction less than 5 months before leaving office.
She is the first mayor in New Orleans' 300-year history to be charged while in office.
Acting United States Attorney Michael Simpson called the situation extremely significant due to Louisiana's notorious history with public corruption.
Vappie was already facing charges of wire fraud and making false statements, to which he pleaded not guilty.
A grand jury added Cantrell to the case with an 18-count indictment.
They are accused of using encrypted messages through WhatsApp and deleting conversations to avoid detection.
While the mayor and Vappie claim their relationship was strictly professional, the indictment describes it as personal and intimate.
The city of New Orleans stated it is aware of the indictment and the mayor attorney is reviewing it.
The indictment details Vappie reminiscing about a trip to Scotland with Cantrell in October 2021, saying that was where it all started.
They exchanged over 15,000 messages on WhatsApp, including efforts to harass a citizen and delete evidence.
Simpson stated Cantrell and Vappie met in apartments while Vappie claimed to be on duty, and she arranged 14 trips for him.
These trips were described by Cantrell as times when they were truly alone, costing New Orleans taxpayers over $70,000 for Vappie travel.
One such trip was to Martha Vineyard in September 2022, which Cantrell took instead of attending a conference in Miami.
Vappie travel to the island was covered by the city for a separate conference, and Cantrell messaged him about how these trips spoiled her.
Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell declined a significant offer from his former employee, Steve Jobs, to purchase one-third of Apple for $50,000 in the 1970s.
With Apple currently valued at $3.1 trillion, Bushnell missed the chance to gain $1 trillion from this small investment.
However, he does not regret his decision, believing he might not be as happy and Apple might not be as successful if he had accepted.
Many people regret not investing in certain opportunities, but few missed out on a deal as substantial as Bushnell.
Jobs, in his early years, presented Bushnell with this seemingly unbelievable offer.
Surprisingly, Bushnell declined the offer to buy a third of Apple for a mere $50,000.
Apple has since grown into a $3.1 trillion company, with over 1 billion iPhones and 100 million Mac users worldwide.
If Bushnell had accepted the offer, his share would be worth $1 trillion today.
Bushnell recognized Jobs' potential as a businessman in the 1970s when Jobs worked at Atari as a technician and game designer.
Jobs was a crucial engineer, effectively solving problems at Atari, but his leadership style created some tension in the workplace.
Bushnell strategically scheduled Jobs for night shifts, knowing Steve Wozniak would also contribute to projects like the Game Breakout.
Jobs would frequently point out the shortcomings of other employees to Bushnell, demonstrating his complex personality.
Bushnell acknowledged Jobs as a genius, albeit a challenging one, in a 2015 interview with American broadcasting company News.
Years later, Bushnell remains content with his decision to decline the offer.
He expressed contentment with his family and life, questioning if immense wealth would have brought the same happiness.
Bushnell even speculates that Apple may not have achieved its current success if he had invested.
He also suggests that his potential payout might not have reached the trillion-dollar mark under different circumstances.
Ultimately, Bushnell reflects on his decision without regret, focusing on the positive aspects of his life.
A hiker in Tennessee tragically died after being bitten by a venomous snake at Savage Gulf State Park.
Officials believe the hiker made a fatal mistake by picking up the snake, according to witness reports.
First responders arrived at the scene around 12:30 p.m. last Friday, finding the hiker only half a mile down a trailhead.
Despite life-saving efforts by rescue workers and transfer to a local hospital, the hiker succumbed to his injuries.
The Grundy County Emergency Management Agency believes the snake was likely a timber rattlesnake.
Timber rattlesnakes are a highly venomous species found in the eastern United States.
Matthew Griffith of the Grundy County Emergency Management Agency told ABC News Channel 9 that witnesses saw the hiker pick up the snake.
The snake then bit the hiker on the hand.
While the full cause of death is yet to be released, it is believed the hiker died from an allergic reaction.
It is still unclear why the hiker picked up the snake.
Griffith offered condolences to the hiker's family and recommended carrying first aid supplies during outdoor activities.
He also emphasized being mindful of wildlife and the potential dangers they may pose.
Griffith urged anyone who encounters a snake to remain calm and avoid handling it.
The Grundy County Emergency Management Agency website describes timber rattlesnakes as the largest and most dangerous of the 4 venomous snakes in Tennessee.
They can grow up to 5 feet long and have a distinctive triangular head, vertical pupils, and a rattle at the end of their tail.
However, rattlesnake bites are rarely fatal, with less than 1 in 600 resulting in death, according to the United States Forest Service.
Ethereum prices have risen near record levels due to increasing optimism on Wall Street.
The second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization climbed close to its 2021 record.
Fundstrat head of research Tom Lee believes Ethereum is a significant long-term investment opportunity.
Many Wall Street cryptocurrency projects and stablecoins are built on the Ethereum infrastructure.
The Genius Act legislation and the Securities and Exchange Commission Project Crypto announcement have contributed to Ethereum price increase.
Fundstrat predicts Ethereum could reach $15,000 by the end of the year.
Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin in recent price gains.
Some companies are raising capital to add Ethereum to their balance sheets, similar to MicroStrategy Bitcoin strategy.
These investments have helped support higher Ethereum prices.
This positive momentum has increased investor enthusiasm and investment in the space.
Bitmine Immersion Technologies, chaired by Tom Lee, plans to sell stock to increase its Ethereum holdings.
Their goal is to acquire 5% of the world outstanding Ethereum tokens.
Other companies like SharpLink Gaming and BTCS are pursuing similar strategies with positive results.
Bitmine shares have significantly increased in value recently.
SharpLink Gaming and BTCS have also seen gains in their share prices.
This surge in Ethereum prices reflects the growing confidence in its potential.
Jeffrey Epstein died mysteriously 6 years ago, but 22 people connected to him have also died under questionable circumstances.
These deaths range from alleged victims to house managers, lawyers, accountants, investigative journalists, and associates, raising concerns of a cover-up.
Private investigator Ed Opperman suggests these deaths are connected through a money trail related to Epstein.
Financier Stephen Hoffenberg, before his death in 2022, claimed Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were creating compromising videos of influential people.
Hoffenberg also spoke about Epstein's alleged connections to Israel's Mossad intelligence agency.
While Maxwell is serving 20 years for sex trafficking, Epstein was found hanged in his jail cell in 2019.
Epstein's former cellmate, Efrain Reyes, died of COVID-19 in 2020 after speaking with investigators about Epstein's death.
3 of Epstein's accusers also died: Virginia Giuffre, Carolyn Andriano, and Lee Sky Patrick.
The deaths extend to individuals involved in the West Palm Beach investigation, where Epstein faced accusations of abuse.
Joe Riccari, the detective who led the Epstein investigation in Palm Beach, died in 2018.
Epstein's former butler, Alfredo Rodriguez, who stole Epstein's Black Book, died in 2014.
2 lawyers who represented Epstein, Kenneth Starr and Roy Black, have also passed away.
Other figures linked to Epstein, such as Marvin Minsky and Ronald Eppinger Sr., have also died.
2 investigative journalists pursuing the Epstein scandal, John Connolly and Wendy Lee, also died.
Several other Epstein associates have died under unusual circumstances, including Jean-Luc Brunel and Steve Bing.
Mark Middleton, an advisor to former President Bill Clinton, and Thomas Bowers, a Deutsche Bank executive, were also found dead.
Former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson and physicist Stephen Hawking, who visited Epstein's island, have also died.
The pattern of deaths surrounding Epstein dates back to his early career with Les Wexner.
A recent analysis suggests Oregon is the 4th worst state to move to in 2025.
This is a significant drop from its 2024 ranking as the 7th worst state.
The analysis, conducted by Consumer Affairs, compared Oregon to other states across several metrics.
These metrics included affordability, safety, economy, education, and access to health care.
Oregon performed poorly in affordability, ranking as the third worst state in this category.
It also ranked ninth worst for safety, highlighting concerns about crime.
Oregon is particularly vulnerable to environmental hazards, such as drought and wildfire.
Neighboring Washington state fared much better, ranking as the 35th best state to move to.
Consumer Affairs noted that Washington outperformed Oregon in affordability, economic strength, healthcare, and educational attainment.
However, both states share similar challenges related to crime and climate risk.
The report indicates that affordability, economic strength, and quality of life are key factors influencing relocation decisions.
This analysis underscores the challenges Oregon faces in attracting and retaining residents.
The states ranking worse than Oregon are California, Louisiana, and New Mexico.
The top-ranked states to move to include Utah, New Hampshire, Idaho, and Virginia.
Washington District of Columbia was not included in this ranking.
This information may be helpful for those considering relocating in the near future.
Importers are having difficulty reselling Canadian canola meal shipments in China due to recently imposed tariffs.
Approximately 200,000 to 400,000 metric tons of canola meal, primarily used in animal feed, are currently stored in warehouses near Chinese ports.
Importers face a 100% duty if they attempt to sell the product domestically.
One trading company executive stated they are exploring reselling options to Southeast Asia or South Korea, likely at a discount.
Traders indicate the canola meal is being offered at a discount of around 30%.
This situation highlights the challenges faced by agricultural companies during trade disputes, similar to the United States and China tariff war impacting soybean trade.
China recently announced a 75.8% anti-dumping levy on Canadian canola oilseed imports, escalating a trade dispute.
This dispute began last August with tariffs imposed by Ottawa on Chinese electric vehicle imports.
In March, China imposed a 100% tariff on Canadian rapeseed oil, oil cakes, and pea imports.
A trader at a Chinese oilseed processing company noted the tariff increase to 100% on canola meal was unexpected and demonstrates the Chinese government is upset with the Canadian government.
Two traders estimated the stranded canola meal volume at 400,000 tons, while another estimated it at 200,000 tons.
At 400,000 tons, the value of the stranded canola meal is estimated at around $120 million.
These trade disputes have significant financial implications for the involved companies.
The situation remains fluid and requires ongoing monitoring to understand the long-term impact on the canola market.
Resolving these trade disputes will be crucial for stabilizing the agricultural market and ensuring a consistent supply of canola meal.
Hopefully, a resolution can be found that benefits both the Canadian and Chinese economies.
Dr. Mehmet Oz, appointed to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services by President Donald Trump, has made comments about Medicaid recipients and their television habits.
During a CNBC interview, Dr. Oz implied that able-bodied individuals enrolled in Medicaid spend a significant amount of time watching television.
He stated that these individuals spend approximately 6.1 hours daily watching television or engaging in leisure activities.
Dr. Oz characterized this amount of time as excessive.
His remarks have sparked controversy and discussion regarding perceptions of Medicaid recipients.
Many people are concerned about the implications of these statements.
Critics argue that Dr. Oz's comments perpetuate harmful stereotypes.
They suggest that his perspective may be influenced by his privileged position.
Others defend Dr. Oz, claiming that his comments were taken out of context.
They maintain that he was simply encouraging healthier lifestyle choices.
The debate highlights the complexities surrounding public assistance programs and societal expectations.
It also raises questions about the role of personal responsibility and government support.
This incident underscores the importance of nuanced discussions about poverty and healthcare access.
It remains to be seen how Dr. Oz's comments will affect future policy decisions.
The situation calls for a more empathetic understanding of the challenges faced by low-income individuals.
Further investigation is needed to fully assess the validity and impact of Dr. Oz's claims.
Hunter Biden refused to apologize to former First Lady Melania Trump after she threatened legal action.
Trump demanded over $1 billion in damages if Biden did not retract comments linking her to Jeffrey Epstein.
Biden stated his comments were based on reports and writings, citing Michael Wolff and the New York Times.
He emphasized the primary source was Michael Wolff, who reportedly has hours of interviews with Epstein.
Biden believes the lawsuit threats are a distraction and do not constitute defamation.
Trump's lawyers objected to two statements Biden made in a YouTube interview last month.
In the interview, Biden alleged Epstein introduced Melania Trump to Donald Trump in the late 1990s.
Melania Trump's lawyer called the statements false, defamatory, and extremely salacious.
The lawyer claimed the remarks caused significant financial and reputational harm to the former First Lady.
The letter demanded Biden retract the claim and apologize or face legal action.
Biden is accused of trading on the names of others and seeking attention.
He made the comments while criticizing elites he felt undermined his father's presidential campaign.
Biden also revealed his father was on Ambien during a debate with Donald Trump.
He attributed the claim about Epstein to Wolff F., whom Trump has dismissed as a third-rate reporter.
The lawsuit threat mirrors Donald Trump's aggressive use of litigation against critics.
Public figures like the Trumps face a high legal bar in defamation lawsuits.
Mortgage rates have fallen this week, offering potential homebuyers a slightly better opportunity.
Freddie Mac reports that the national average for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is now down to 6.58%.
The 15-year fixed-rate mortgage also saw a decrease, settling at 5.71%.
While experts do not anticipate rates dipping below 6% this year, these current rates are the lowest observed since October 2024.
If you are considering purchasing a home in 2025, now might be a favorable time to secure a mortgage.
It is advisable to select a lender that offers a rate buy-down option.
This allows you to relock your interest rate if market rates decline before finalizing the purchase.
Zillow data provides a snapshot of current mortgage rates across different loan types.
For a 30-year fixed mortgage, the rate is 6.47%.
A 15-year fixed mortgage sits at 5.63%.
Adjustable rate mortgages, such as the 5/1 ARM, are at 6.74%.
VA loans offer slightly lower rates, with the 30-year VA loan at 6.04%.
FHA loans also provide competitive rates, with the 30-year FHA loan at 5.81%.
It is important to remember that these are national averages and rounded to the nearest hundredth.
The American Heart Association and the American College of Cardiology released new guidelines to address hypertension.
These are the first updated guidelines for clinicians since 2017.
The guidelines recommend limiting alcohol consumption for better blood pressure management.
While abstaining from alcohol is ideal, men should have no more than 2 drinks per day.
Women should limit their intake to no more than 1 drink daily, according to the guidelines.
A recent report indicates that both systolic and diastolic blood pressure rise with increased alcohol intake.
The guidelines also emphasize the importance of reducing sodium intake to manage hypertension.
It is recommended that individuals consume no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium daily.
Ideally, sodium intake should be limited to 1,500 milligrams per day.
The report notes that most adults consume excess sodium from processed and restaurant foods.
The guidelines encourage checking sodium content and using potassium-enriched salt substitutes.
Doctors are now advised to recommend lifestyle changes for stage 1 hypertension.
Previously, interventions were primarily focused on stage 2 hypertension.
The 2017 guidelines focused on systolic blood pressure levels of 140 millimeters of mercury or higher.
The new guidelines suggest lifestyle changes for those in the 130 to 139 millimeters of mercury range.
The guidelines recommend a heart-healthy diet like the DSH eating plan.
The DSH diet emphasizes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins.
Thanks for staying informed. See you in the next episode.
A Reddit post showcased surprisingly high prices for trinkets at a Goodwill store, causing outrage online.
The original poster expressed disbelief at the cost of these rather ordinary items.
Thrifting has become increasingly popular, especially among younger generations.
They see thrift stores as a source of affordable, quality items that promote sustainability.
Factors like import tariffs and rising prices on new clothing have further boosted thrifting.
This increased demand has led some thrift stores to reevaluate their pricing strategies.
The second-hand clothing market is projected to grow significantly in the coming years.
One report estimates it could reach $73 billion United States dollars domestically by 2028.
This growth is generally positive for thrift stores, which often compete with fast fashion.
Fast fashion contributes significantly to pollution and landfill waste due to its low quality and short-lived trends.
Thrift stores offer a more sustainable alternative by extending the life of clothing.
This particular Goodwill store seems to be taking advantage of the growing reliance on second-hand goods.
While these high prices are not typical of all thrift stores, they have angered many shoppers.
The attraction of thrift stores has always been their affordability and support for a circular economy.
These inflated prices contradict that traditional appeal.
Some commenters expressed relief that their local Goodwill stores have not yet implemented similar price increases.
Others questioned who would be willing to pay such prices for these items.
The incident highlights the changing landscape of thrifting and the potential impact of increased demand.
Ms. J packed her belongings and left her tent before authorities arrived to clear the homeless encampment.
She had been saving money and searching for work while living on the streets.
The night before, federal and local law enforcement began clearing encampments across Washington.
This action was part of President Donald Trump's initiative to address crime and homelessness in the city.
The initiative, called Making District of Columbia Safe and Beautiful Task Force, began earlier this year with streamlining government departments.
The recent focus has shifted to clearing homeless encampments, starting with one near the United States Institute of Peace.
While the administration aims to improve the city's appearance, some view these actions as inhumane.
The Episcopal Diocese of Washington expressed concern for the displaced individuals, emphasizing their shared humanity.
61-year-old Andrew S. was asked to move from his resting spot because he was within the president's line of sight.
He and others interviewed by the Associated Press declined to give their full names due to the heavy police presence.
At another encampment, 67-year-old George packed his remaining belongings as city workers disposed of his mattress.
43-year-old Jesse Wall questioned the purpose of the clearing, viewing it as an act of bullying.
67-year-old David Beatty, also displaced, criticized the actions as targeting and persecuting the homeless.
He invoked the Golden Rule, emphasizing the importance of treating others with compassion.
District of Columbia officials acknowledged that federal authorities would have dismantled the encampments if local police had not acted first.
The expectation was that local authorities would handle the process more humanely.
Jesse Rabinowitz, from the National Homelessness Law Center, reported that individuals were given the choice to leave or be detained at various sites.
He noted a perceived strategy to conduct highly visible clearing operations during the day and less visible arrests at night.
Tropical storm Erin has officially become a hurricane and is currently moving towards the Caribbean.
It is expected to curve northeast off the United States East Coast next week, bringing heavy rains, flash flooding, gusty winds, and waves.
Some scientists predict potentially enormous waves exceeding 50 feet.
Jean-Raymond Bidla, a senior scientist at the European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts, suggests the largest wave could be over 100 feet.
While waves of that size are unlikely to hit the coast directly, there will undoubtedly be significant swell.
Other experts, like Alex De Silva of AccuWeather, downplay the 100-foot prediction, suggesting 50 to 75 feet is more realistic.
He believes waves of that height would require the hurricane to reach Category 4 or 5.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has issued an advisory about swells generated by Erin.
These swells will affect the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico this weekend.
They are expected to spread to the western Atlantic next week, potentially causing dangerous surf and rip currents.
Regardless of the wave size, Hurricane Erin will bring both destruction and surf to the East Coast.
There will be waves for surfers, but also damage and danger for others.
It is important to stay updated with real-time surf forecasts and weather advisories.
People should exercise caution and prioritize safety during this hurricane season.
The storm is currently a Category 1 hurricane, but is expected to strengthen.
Its path and intensity will continue to be monitored by meteorological agencies.
The potential impact on coastal communities is being assessed.
Preparations for the storm's arrival are underway in potentially affected areas.
Apple appears to have unintentionally revealed upcoming hardware through identifiers found in publicly available software code.
These disclosures, initially reported by MacRumors, hint at next-generation chips across Apple product lines, including the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, and Vision Pro.
Apple software often includes such identifiers before hardware releases, confirming product families and classes, though not final specifications.
These identifiers suggest Apple is planning silicon upgrades across its product line: an improved Apple Television, a faster Vision Pro, and a higher-end studio display.
It is important to remember that these details are based on identifiers and not official announcements, so specifications, features, and timelines could change.
A next-generation HomePod Mini, codenamed B525, is expected, using the same T8310 architecture as the latest Apple Watches.
This indicates a significant upgrade from the current S5-based model.
An Apple Television refresh is expected later this year, potentially featuring the A17 Pro chip from the iPhone 15 Pro.
This could significantly enhance performance and enable more advanced gaming and artificial intelligence features.
There are code references to a next-generation studio display, possibly with a mini light-emitting diode backlight and an early 2026 release.
The next iPad mini is linked to the A19 Pro chip, the same family intended for the iPhone 17 Pro.
Apple has explored an organic light-emitting diode mini for as early as 2026, but the timing remains uncertain.
The next low-cost iPad is referenced with an A18 chip and is expected in spring.
Code strings suggest the second-generation Vision Pro will use the M5 chip, offering a substantial performance boost.
The Apple Watch Series 11, Ultra 3, and Watch SE 3 are tied to an S11 system in package that maintains the T8310 architecture.
This is not the first time Apple has inadvertently leaked information about upcoming products through software code.
Former United States President Donald Trump contacted Norwegian Finance Minister Jens Stoltenberg to discuss tariffs.
During this call, President Trump also expressed his desire to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, according to Norwegian media.
Several nations, such as Israel, Pakistan, and Cambodia, have nominated President Trump for the prize.
These nominations are based on his involvement in peace agreements and ceasefires.
Minister Stoltenberg confirmed the call took place while he was walking in Oslo.
He acknowledged the discussion included tariffs and economic cooperation.
However, Minister Stoltenberg declined to elaborate further on the specifics of the conversation.
Several United States officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jameson Greer, also participated in the call.
Both the White House and the Norwegian Nobel Committee have not yet responded to requests for comment.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee selects the laureates from hundreds of annual nominees.
This committee consists of 5 members appointed by the Norwegian Parliament.
The Nobel Prize announcement typically occurs in October in Oslo.
This is reportedly not the first time President Trump has mentioned the Nobel Prize to Minister Stoltenberg.
Minister Stoltenberg previously served as the Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
The United States recently imposed a 15% tariff on imports from Norway.
This tariff matches the one imposed on the European Union.
20-year-old OnlyFans star Sophie Rain made a $1 million donation to Mr. Beast's Team Water charity livestream.
This donation stunned Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, leaving him speechless during the live event.
Rain stated her desire to donate, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to contribute to the cause.
She praised Mr. Beast for his work and emphasized her support for the Clean Water Initiative.
The Team Water Initiative is a collaboration between Mr. Beast and Mark Rober, aiming to raise $40 million in August for clean water access worldwide.
Over 3,000 influencers have joined the cause, with Mr. Beast's livestream alone generating over $10 million in pledges.
Rain's donation places her among the top 20 donors, alongside figures like Citadel Chief Executive Officer Ken Griffin and Shopify Chief Executive Officer Tobias Lutke.
Rain has amassed a significant following on OnlyFans and other social media platforms, claiming substantial earnings.
She has highlighted her investments in luxury items like a private plane, cars, and a farmhouse.
Following her donation, Rain addressed critics on social media, emphasizing the impact of her contribution regardless of its source.
In a statement, Rain framed the donation as part of a larger effort to address the global water crisis.
She stressed the importance of clean water access and encouraged others to contribute, even small amounts.
Rain expressed hope that her donation would inspire others to give back to causes they believe in.
The Team Water initiative continues to gather support, with millions of dollars raised towards its goal.
Rain's substantial contribution demonstrates the potential of online platforms for philanthropic efforts.
Her actions highlight the increasing involvement of younger generations in charitable giving.
Rabbits in Colorado have been observed with unusual horn-like growths, causing some public concern.
Scientists reassure us that these growths are due to a relatively common and mostly harmless virus called Shopé papillomavirus.
This virus causes wart-like growths that can resemble horns, leading to nicknames like Frankenstein bunnies or demon rabbits.
However, this virus is not new and has been known to science for nearly a century, even influencing ancient folklore about jackalopes.
The virus was named after Dr. Richard E. Shope, who discovered it in the 1930s while studying cottontail rabbits.
Recent sightings of these rabbits in Fort Collins, Colorado, have gained attention due to residents sharing pictures.
One resident described seeing a rabbit with what looked like black quills or toothpicks protruding around its mouth.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife has confirmed receiving calls about these rabbits, stating that they are not uncommon, especially during summer.
The virus spreads through fleas and ticks and is specific to rabbits, posing no threat to humans or pets.
Rabbit papilloma is similar to human papillomavirus, HPV, induced tumors, although the rabbit version is generally less serious.
The growths are typically harmless, unless they obstruct the rabbit's ability to eat by growing on their eyes or mouths.
Rabbits can usually fight off the virus, after which the growths disappear.
The disease is more severe in domestic rabbits and requires veterinary treatment.
Colorado has 3 species of cottontail rabbits, mountain, desert, and eastern, which are difficult to distinguish visually.
They are primarily differentiated by their habitat and geographic location.
The Shopé papillomavirus is a fascinating example of how a naturally occurring virus can capture public attention and inspire folklore.
Israel's far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, visited prominent jailed Palestinian leader Marwan Barghouti.
Ben-Vir shared a video of the visit on his social media account, in which he told Barghouti he would not win.
The video shows Ben-Vir telling Barghouti that anyone who threatens Israel will be eliminated.
This prison visit occurred earlier this week but became public after another hardline cabinet member made controversial statements.
Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich vowed to bury the idea of a Palestinian state.
He stated that work would begin on a settlement bisecting the West Bank, further separating it from East Jerusalem.
Smotrich believes this action eliminates the possibility of a Palestinian state.
In the video, Barghouti appears thin and weak as Ben-Gvir addresses him.
The Palestinian Authority described Ben-Gvir's remarks as a direct threat to Barghouti.
Barghouti, a senior member of the Fatah movement, is serving multiple life sentences.
He was convicted of orchestrating attacks on Israelis during the Second Palestinian Intifada.
Israel considers Barghouti a dangerous militant, while supporters see him as a potential successor to Mahmoud Abbas.
Some even compare him to Nelson Mandela, believing he could unite the Palestinian political landscape.
Polls suggest Barghouti would win a presidential election against Abbas and former Hamas chief Khaled Mashal.
However, Palestinian Authority presidential elections have not been held since 2005.
Most world powers support a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
President Trump commemorated Social Security's 90th anniversary while highlighting tax law changes benefiting seniors.
He reaffirmed his commitment to defending Social Security and prioritizing the well-being of American workers, families, and seniors.
President Trump emphasized the recent tax law as providing substantial tax relief for seniors.
He also praised administrative efforts to combat fraud, waste, and abuse within the system.
The recently enacted tax law allows a temporary $6,000 deduction for individuals 65 and older.
However, some experts suggest this deduction primarily benefits the upper middle class.
President Trump expressed confidence in the long-term solvency of Social Security.
He also mentioned efforts to address fraud involving illegal aliens.
Analysis from the administration's chief actuary indicates the recent tax and spending bill could accelerate the depletion of Social Security trust funds.
This could lead to reduced tax revenue for benefits sooner than previously projected.
The Office of the Chief Actuary predicts depletion of the combined trust funds by the first quarter of 2034.
This is earlier than the previous projection of the third quarter of 2034.
The administration's plans to reduce the Social Security Administration workforce and eliminate fraud have garnered significant public attention.
Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bisignano emphasized the agency's shift towards digital services.
The goal is for 200 million Americans to have digital Social Security accounts by the end of next year.
Bisignano expressed a strong commitment to modernizing the agency and improving its services.
A Minnesota television meteorologist, Ren Claire, legally known as Renee Fox, has filed a lawsuit against her former employer, KSTP-TV, alleging sexual harassment and retaliation.
The lawsuit claims that news director Kirk Varner frequently commented on Fox's appearance, expressing a preference for tighter clothing and criticizing her choice of pants over dresses.
Varner also allegedly complained about Fox's decision to change her hair color from blonde to her natural brunette.
After Fox reported these concerns to Human Resources, she claimed she was demoted from the evening news to a daytime slot.
Following 7 years at the station, Fox was ultimately terminated in February.
KSTP-TV denies the allegations of sexual harassment, asserting that Fox's dismissal was due to poor performance.
The station claims that Varner's comments on Fox's appearance were standard practice for on-air talent.
They maintain that his remarks regarding clothing fit and hair color were related to professional standards and the appearance clause in her employment agreement.
Fox alleges that Varner was more critical of her than her male colleagues, offering her less desirable assignments and opportunities.
KSTP-TV disputes this, arguing that Fox could not be trusted with severe weather coverage and blamed others for her performance issues.
Fox assumed the primetime meteorologist role in 2020 after the retirement of Dave Dahl, the previous chief weather person.
The lawsuit also includes allegations against Dahl for comments on Fox's appearance.
Fox claims she reported these comments to Varner, who allegedly excused Dahl's behavior in a manner referencing gender.
KSTP-TV stated that Dahl apologized for his remarks and committed to improvement.
The lawsuit further claims that Dahl made comments about Fox's plans for having children, which she denies ever discussing with anyone at the station.
Fox argues that these comments reflect the sex-based presumptions prevalent at KSTP-TV.
Astronomers have documented a new type of supernova resulting from a massive star interacting with a black hole.
The star, at least 10 times the mass of our Sun, and the black hole of similar mass, were gravitationally bound in a binary system.
As they drew closer, the black hole distorted the star and siphoned its material before causing it to explode.
Astrophysicist Alexander Gagliano of the United States National Science Foundation, lead author of the study, described it as a star locked in a fatal tango with a black hole.
The explosion, about 700 million light-years from Earth, released immense energy.
Gagliano explained that although the objects had similar masses, the star was larger and was in the process of engulfing the black hole.
However, the black hole, though smaller, was more powerful and ultimately won out.
The exact mechanism that caused the supernova remains uncertain.
It is unclear whether the distortion caused the star to collapse or if the black hole completely pulled the star apart.
Study co-author Ashley Villar noted that the star was significantly morphed by the black hole.
Originally, the binary system consisted of two massive stars.
One star exploded into a supernova, its core collapsing into a black hole.
This event provides new insights into how some stars end their lives, according to Villar.
Stars at least 8 times the mass of the Sun are destined to end with a supernova.
Those at least 20 times the mass of the Sun will form a black hole after the explosion.
An artificial intelligence algorithm initially detected the explosion, enabling immediate follow-up observations.
Observations dating back 4 years prior to the supernova showed bright emissions, likely caused by the black hole consuming stellar material.
Gagliano emphasized how companions significantly impact the fates of stars.
Thomas Noguchi, the coroner who performed Marilyn Monroe's autopsy, is breaking his silence after 63 years.
He reveals he never agreed with the suicide ruling and was prevented from investigating a potential murder.
Noguchi, now 98 years old, shares his account in a new book, L.A. coroner Thomas Noguchi and death in Hollywood.
He admits the autopsy was not thoroughly conducted, and crucial evidence disappeared.
He also states he disagreed with the official ruling of suicide, which was determined rather quickly.
Noguchi questioned the lack of visual evidence of pills in her stomach and intestines, despite bottles of sedatives found near her body.
Reports suggest Monroe was pregnant with President Kennedy's child and threatened to expose their affair after he ended it.
This fueled speculation that the Kennedys wanted her silenced.
Noguchi requested further testing of Monroe's stomach contents and organs.
However, he discovered head toxicologist Raymond Abernathy disposed of them after the coroner's report was issued.
Without complete analysis, it was impossible to determine if death was caused by injection rather than ingestion.
Noguchi worried he would be held responsible if the autopsy was deemed inadequate.
At the time of the autopsy, Noguchi was only 35, a new coroner still on probation.
He found it unusual that he, not Chief Coroner Theodore Curfey, was assigned such a high-profile case.
The author of the book, Ann Soon Choi, highlights Noguchi's persistent unease.
He questioned if Monroe was murdered and if he was involved in a cover-up.
Artery inflammation, also known as atherosclerosis, is a significant contributor to heart disease and stroke.
Cardiologists stress the importance of accurate information about artery inflammation and how to reduce it.
Artery inflammation involves plaque buildup inside the arteries, consisting of fats, cholesterol, and inflammatory cells.
This plaque can restrict or obstruct blood flow, leading to serious health problems.
Several factors contribute to artery inflammation, including high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and smoking.
Infection and autoimmune diseases can also play a role in artery inflammation.
Even a diet high in processed foods can increase the risk of excessive inflammation.
When risk factors are present, the immune system becomes activated, potentially damaging the arteries.
A Mediterranean-style diet is highly recommended by cardiologists for lowering artery inflammation.
This diet emphasizes fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, healthy fats, and lean protein.
It also encourages limiting red meat and processed food consumption.
The Mediterranean diet is rich in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, which offer various benefits.
These benefits include lowering harmful cholesterol and inflammatory biomarkers.
The diet also promotes beneficial gut bacteria, which is linked to reduced inflammation.
Polyphenols in olive oil and plant-based foods prevent harmful cholesterol from oxidizing.
This helps prevent the formation of inflamed plaques in the arteries.
The Mediterranean diet lowers inflammatory markers in the blood, such as high-sensitivity C-reactive protein.
The fiber and healthy fats in the diet contribute to this reduction in inflammation.
Over 100 female inmates at a Colorado jail had their strip search videos allegedly viewed by a former commander.
3 of these women have filed a lawsuit against the former commander, Edward Aber, and the government agencies involved.
The lawsuit alleges that La Plata County and its sheriff's office failed to monitor access to the sensitive footage.
They also knew about Aber's history of alleged sexual impropriety and harassment.
Aber is already facing criminal prosecution for watching the videos of at least 117 female inmates over 5 years.
He frequently viewed these videos weeks or months after they were recorded during the jail intake process.
The strip searches are conducted by female deputies and recorded on body cameras to check for contraband.
Aber's lawyer did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
The county also declined to comment on the ongoing litigation.
This is not the only lawsuit involving the jail. Another was filed last month regarding an inmate's death.
Aber was placed on paid leave in July 2024 and later resigned following an investigation into alleged sexual misconduct and harassment.
Investigators found that Aber accessed body camera footage over 3,000 times, primarily strip search videos.
He often accessed these videos from home or hotels, late at night or early in the morning.
Aber is charged with official misconduct and 117 counts of invasion of privacy.
The lawsuit aims to include all women whose videos were allegedly viewed by Aber.
Some videos were purged from the system, suggesting there may be more victims.
The lawsuit claims Aber and others violated the women's constitutional rights to privacy and protection against unreasonable searches.
One of the attorneys acknowledged the need for strip searches but emphasized the importance of limiting access to the recordings to maintain trust in the justice system.
The White House has authorized the use of military force against drug cartels, potentially violating the sovereignty of Mexico.
Sources indicate President Trump is serious about attacking Mexico unless the nation meets his demands.
A senior administration official stated that a strike is imminent unless significant changes are observed.
President Trump and Republican leaders have supported the idea of invading Mexico due to rising fentanyl rates and drug trafficking.
In January, President Trump acknowledged the possibility of sending United States Special Operations Forces across the border.
Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, initially rejected the United States' attempt to send troops across the border.
However, days later, the Mexican government extradited 26 alleged cartel members to the United States.
Attorney General Pam Bondi described these actions as historic efforts to dismantle cartels and foreign terrorist organizations.
Cartel monitors suggest that Mexico's compliance is an attempt to prevent United States military intervention.
They also believe it is meant to preserve ongoing trade negotiations.
A trade deal between Mexico and the Trump administration has not been finalized.
President Trump and President Sheinbaum recently postponed a potential 30% tariff rate for 90 days.
The timeline for a final agreement between the two countries remains uncertain.
Negotiating new trade agreements typically takes United States officials approximately 18 months.
This involves extensive reviews of prior trade, product analysis, and examination of import and export laws.
The complexity of these negotiations contributes to the lengthy process.
A TikTok video circulated in August 2025 showing a trainer named Jessica Radcliffe dying in the mouth of an orca, but it was fake.
However, a real marine trainer named Dawn Brancheau died after an orca attack at SeaWorld.
A United States Occupational Safety and Health Commission report details the incident with Brancheau and Tillicum, a 29-year-old male orca.
On February 24, 2010, Brancheau was interacting with Tillicum in a pool at Shamu Stadium.
Brancheau was on a platform below the water surface, and Tillicum was supposed to mimic her behavior by rolling onto his back.
Instead, Tillicum grabbed Brancheau and pulled her into the pool, resulting in her death.
Brancheau was in the pool for 45 minutes.
Her autopsy report cited drowning and traumatic injuries, including dislocated extremities and a fractured jaw.
This was not the first death associated with Tillicum, who was involved in a 1991 death of a whale trainer in British Columbia.
The United States government issued 3 citations against SeaWorld Orlando after Brancheau's death.
2 citations were for exposing trainers to hazards when working with killer whales.
1 citation was for failing to equip stairways with standard railings.
Tillicum, the park's star attraction, weighed approximately 12,000 pounds and was 22 feet long.
SeaWorld used water desensitization to acclimate the whales to trainers.
There was debate about whether Tillicum grabbed Brancheau by her arm or ponytail.
Brancheau was performing a layout mimic, lying on her back parallel to Tillicum, when he pulled her in.
Trainers tried to stop the attack with a callback tone and by slapping the water, but it did not work.
Tillicum died in 2017, according to the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Israeli forces demolished houses in eastern Gaza City overnight, resulting in the deaths of at least 11 people.
The Palestinian group Hamas has informed mediators of its readiness to resume ceasefire discussions.
8 individuals were killed when Israeli tank fire struck a house in the Zaytun neighborhood.
An airstrike on a building in the nearby Shenjaya suburb claimed the life of another person.
2 additional fatalities occurred due to tank shelling in Tufa, a third Gaza City suburb.
Local health authorities reported receiving desperate calls from trapped families in the Zaytun area.
Ambulance vehicles have been unable to reach those trapped due to the ongoing bombardment.
A Gaza City resident described the near-constant explosions in eastern Gaza, particularly in Zaytun and Shajaya.
He expressed hope that Egypt could secure a ceasefire agreement before further loss of life.
Over 22 months into the Israeli military offensive, Gaza residents face a worsening hunger crisis.
4 more people died from starvation and malnutrition in the past 24 hours, according to Gaza's health ministry.
This brings the total number of starvation and malnutrition deaths to 239 since the war began.
106 of these deaths are children.
Israel disputes the figures reported by the health ministry in Gaza, which has been under Hamas control since 2007.
Egypt has been working to revive a push for a ceasefire, hosting a Hamas delegation in Cairo.
Hamas expressed its willingness to resume ceasefire talks and discuss a comprehensive agreement to end the war.
2 men in India face substantial fines for illegal logging after being caught on camera.
The incident occurred in Salgran village, Himachal Pradesh, where TikTok Chand and Ram Nath were filmed cutting down trees.
Local villagers, investigating the sound of a chainsaw, recorded the illegal activity.
One of the men claimed to be acting on orders from a Forest Corporation board member.
The video circulated on social media, leading to a police investigation and the recovery of 36 wooden blocks.
Chand and Nath received fines of approximately $1,800 each.
It is unclear whether they will pay these fines.
Illegal logging is a serious issue in India, causing environmental and economic damage.
It contributes to deforestation, biodiversity loss, and negatively impacts local communities.
India has seen numerous high-profile illegal logging cases recently, often stopped by community members.
This problem extends globally, with Indonesia losing an estimated $2 billion annually due to illegal logging.
Interpol estimates that illegal logging represents 15 to 30% of the global timber trade.
This illegal trade is worth up to $152 billion annually.
Besides habitat destruction, illegal logging increases carbon emissions, as trees store carbon dioxide.
Trees absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis, storing it as biomass throughout their lifespan.
This vital carbon storage function is disrupted by deforestation.
Pancreatic and colorectal cancers are notoriously difficult to treat and often recur after initial treatment.
A new off-the-shelf vaccine called ELI-022P offers hope for individuals with these cancers, showing promise in a recent clinical trial.
Developed by researchers across the United States, the vaccine targets mutations in the KRAS gene.
These KRAS mutations are linked to 93% of pancreatic cancers and 50% of colorectal cancers.
The vaccine delivers its active agent directly to the lymph nodes.
This targets key parts of the immune system where various immune cells reside.
Medical oncologist Zev Weinberg from the University of California, Los Angeles, calls this an exciting advance for patients with KRAS-driven cancers.
He emphasizes its significance for pancreatic cancer, where recurrence is common and effective therapies are limited.
The vaccine was tested on 20 people recovering from pancreatic cancer and 5 recovering from colorectal cancer.
These individuals had undergone surgery to remove tumors, but showed signs of potential recurrence.
After a series of injections, 84% of the participants developed mutant KRAS-specific T cells.
These T cells are equipped to fight off mutated products of the KRAS gene.
In 24% of the participants, traces of the tumors were completely eliminated.
Of those with the strongest immune response, 17 out of 24 remained cancer-free after a median of almost 20 months.
These are impressive statistics for such aggressive cancers.
Weinberg notes that patients with strong immune responses remained disease-free and survived longer than expected.
Across all participants, the median relapse-free survival was 16.33 months, and the median overall survival was 28.94 months.
These survival rates are significantly longer than typically seen in these cancers.
Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us again for more updates that matter. Until next time.
Thanks for staying informed. See you in the next episode.